Florence. Today I wanted to talk about your voice. Do you know what I mean by your voice? What I mean by your voice is your opinion, your stance, your beliefs, or maybe a belief in something, who you are, your voice, right? And I want to talk about why it's important to protect that voice. Sometimes other people in our lives make us feel small, make our voice feel small, make our emotions feel diminished, make our intuitions feel diminished. This is for you. If you have an intuition about something or you have an opinion about something and it comes from a place of love and compassion and wisdom, and it comes from that deepest part of you that knows that if the world knew this, it'd be a better place, right? Kind of a thing, that part of you. The ritual that I will be doing today is going to deal with how to protect that part of you, how to protect that part of your voice. Sometimes in my rituals, I will use tarot cards, right? Not uncommon. And one day, when I was thinking about this very subject, the Nine of Wands came up for me. The Nine of Wands in the Rider-Waite tarot deck shows a person with a bandaged head, and they're surrounded by a bunch of staves or a bunch of wands, right? Wands represent action. It looks like a person who's been fighting for like so freaking long, right? They're kind of tired, but they're always ready for battle, right? So if you've ever felt like maybe in a situation where it could be at school or it could be at work or it could be with family where you feel like to say your voice would incite a whole bunch of like people wanting to fight you on it or whatever, right? This today is to sort of put that fighting to rest in your own mind. It may not in theirs, but in your own mind. Because once you solidify your own sovereignty, once you are your own validator, right? I validate my own thoughts, my own beliefs, my own feelings, right? Once you validate those, you don't need other people to validate those, right? Michelle T, who has a book called Modern Tarot, she'll give you a mini ritual of like what to do about a tarot card if you draw this tarot card. So this is inspired by reading her book, and I have my own little additives. And you can have your own little additives too. If something inspires you or you're like, oh, I'd like to do this as well, add that as well. Whatever it takes to make you feel like you're strong and sovereign and I know I'm right. I know I'm on the right path, right? When you know you're right, you don't got to prove it to anybody else. So, Nine of Wands. On this ritual, the overview is this, because there are a couple different options we can do. What it is you go out and you collect twigs, 9 twigs to represent the Nine of Wands. You place them in a circle around you, which I've actually already set up here. And then you ask yourself some questions. And so you'll need a pen and a paper. And if you want to take a tarot card with you, you can do that. So the Nine of Wands. Additionally to my Nine of Wands, I also took the Death card, another card I'll show you. And I know the Death card sounds ominous and kind of bananas, but sometimes when we want something or we want to embrace a new thing, we have to let old things die, right? Especially when it comes to really caring about what other people think of you, right? About what do I need to die to, right? What do I need to let go of in order to embrace my voice, in order to protect my voice? If I'm caring about what somebody else thinks, then my voice is going to continue to be diminished because I'm going to constantly be caring about, is my voice offending them? Is my voice bothering them? Or do they approve of my voice, right? No, I don't want to deal with that anymore. So what do I need to die to? What do I need to let go of when I do this ritual? So you collect your 9 twigs for your Nine of Wands with your cards, kind of mindfully walking around and thinking about what things I need to let go of, how can I make my voice stronger? And then there's also other questions to ask yourself. And you can take it on a piece of paper while you walk. So while I'm out walking and I'm collecting my twigs, if I want, I can take along a piece of paper with me and a pen that says, what do I want to protect? So what about my voice is being diminished? What do I want to protect about it? Why do I want to protect it, right? What about this is important to me, right? What does it mean to me? What does it mean to protect this voice? What will that look like, right? And what would I like to see happen, right? So as a result of protecting this part of you, protecting this voice in you, what would the outcome of that look like, right? We know that when we picture goals, we know that when we picture sort of manifestations, we know they are more likely to come true. So what we want is for this shit to come true, right? So be as specific as you can, and dream big, right? Really think about this. After you've collected your twigs, you're going to sit down in a quiet place and you're going to place the twigs around you, your wands around you. And then you're going to ask yourself those questions. So I have done this once before where I collected the twigs in nature. I took along a piece of paper and my cards, and then I sat down in a quiet, naturey place where I wouldn't be disturbed. And then I put the twigs out around me, and then I did this out in nature. But today, for today's ritual, I've already collected my twigs. I have already set them out around me, and now we're going to commence with asking the questions. And I'm going to actively answer the questions as I'm thinking of them out loud for me. So, the first question that I mindfully want to ask is, what do I want to protect? What I want to protect is my ability to speak out in this way. So, as I spoke about in previous videos on my Facebook page, Unicorn Rituals, I've talked about things that hold me back. This kind of ties in with that a little bit. So something that I want to protect in my voice is my inner child, the inner playfulness, the inner imaginativeness, right? I want to protect that child that is not predisposed or already been indoctrinated with what you should and shouldn't do, what you should say, what you shouldn't say. With that child who likes to believe in unicorns and mermaids, right? You know, that inner child that is sort of that sweet, sort of innocent, doesn't know about a big scary world, that wants to cram, and silence you and stuff like that, right? So I like to picture walking along a stream, me as a little child, or watching me as a little child, petting a unicorn, picking flowers, kind of dirty, like a dirty little kid, because who gives a crap about dirt when you're a kid, really, right? I used to roll down hills and with goose poo all over them, but I didn't know it at the time. Whatever. It was fun, right? It was fun. So I like to imagine that. And so that little girl is who I want to protect. That playfulness, that little girl who will hum, right? Who will sing a song, right? That little girl who will skip, who will dance, who will let out her joy, right? Instead of holding in because other people might think I'm totally bananas, right? That little girl who likes to wear unicorn horns, right? That one, right? Who is powerful because she doesn't think she needs any kind of validation. So I really like that, right? And when I think of the death card in that situation, what I have to let go of is sort of those adult, grown-up ideas that I can't be me, right? Those adult ideas that would say, oh, shh, people are looking. Oh, shh, don't wear that. That looks silly. Oh, shh, don't do this, right? This looks silly. I gotta let go of those things. I gotta let go of other people's opinions of that. I think it's time. I think I need to do this. So I'm going to protect it. What does it mean to me to protect this? What it means to me is it'll come from a pure place, right? It'll come from a place that was the original unicorn priestess, right? The original unicorn princess, right? Like that's where it comes from. So that's what it means to me, protecting that original. And then what would that look like? Making more videos. Being okay with liking this shit, right? Just being okay with liking to dress up and put on a little show, right? Being okay with that. That's what that means to me. So I'm going to embrace that I will have to die to what other people say. I will protect that creative little unicorn inside of me, and I will let her speak. I will let her speak. And adulthood, you can just take a back seat sometimes, all right? Just do it. So that's what I want to put in place. That's what it means to me. So after you're done, with your ritual and thinking of these wonderful little thoughts of how to protect yourself and things like that, you're going to go around and you're going to collect all your twigs, and then you're going to take a red ribbon. You can do this at home. You don't have to do this out there, but take a red ribbon. Red means passion and fire and dedication, and I'm serious about this. You're going to wrap those twigs in a red ribbon or red vine or a red whatever you can find that's red. If you don't have red, you can use any other color that means something to you, right? I mean, use whatever you've got. We're going to bind those up, and you're going to remember that you've already fought for it, so you've already won. If you've already fought for it, then you've already won. And if you're your own validator, again, you've already won. God, that's the best, right? You've already won. So, after you bound them up, I like to, wax, like the wax that you put on like letters and you put like a seal and shit. Like, I love that stuff. So I'll show a picture of it. I'm going to wrap it up and I'm going to seal it. And then I'm going to put it in a place where I can see it. And every time I see that, when I come home or when I look in that direction, I remind myself, I don't have to worry about protecting myself anymore. I've already protected myself. I did this ritual. My voice is strongest. My voice is loudest, right? In my head, my voice is the loudest. That's the one that I'm going to go with. The one that comes from that good place of compassion, wisdom, intelligence, right? That place. And then the best part is when you find a day where you feel like you've accomplished your goal, where you're like, oh, hey, I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not as afraid of, or I don't feel the need to protect myself, right? I don't feel the need that when I'm around this person who's usually really loud around me that I have to like, I feel fighting words, right? I feel those fighting feelings, right? That I have to yell back at them, right? When you've come to that place where you don't need to do that, that's the day you break that seal and you find a secret place, or you can go to a garden or a park and you can scatter those twigs because now you really know you don't need them anymore, right? Let's get to a place where we don't have to protect ourselves by yelling louder. We already know. You already know, right? That's what I'm looking for. So please have an amazing day. Please do this ritual. Tell me how it turns out in the comments. Let me know maybe some of the things that you would like to protect or think about. I love that because possibly something that you want to protect is something that maybe somebody else wants to protect. So please share it. Please have an amazing day, you beautiful unicorns. Sovereign.